Hello. Yeah, I'm just struggling with about 10 billion wires on the floor here. I thought it was going to be all sorted out in time to start this, but I'll just go with it. Things have been a little bit slow recently. Being in lockdown means I have to work a lot more hours somehow. I was preparing to finish off the film I was working on, and I got myself preamp for going a little bit more professional than I was. Unfortunately, the microphone was delayed and it's still not here. I've been waiting for about 2 weeks now. I'm hoping next week is the week the microphone can turn up. Hello, Zara Awesome, Marcus Don, and Holger. I do have this old thing, but unfortunately, it's the shock mount just kind of doesn't work as well, and it kind of has this problem of just falling like that. So it's causing me all sorts of problems when it comes to recording. Yeah, just move out the way and don't knock the camera. So today, on the weekend that I finished Outer Wilds, I'm going to talk about not Outer Wilds. Hello, Garbo181, and I seem to have really screwed things up. If I was worrying about wires on the floor, now I'm worrying about microphones bashing into the monitor. So we're going to go through Puzzle Pelago, which is a puzzle game. I always do a puzzle game, don't I? At least once. Then we're going to go on to Discolored, which is sort of a point-and-click game. Oh, thank you, Helga. And then we're going to go into Akurra, which is also another puzzle game, which is not finished. It's in, well, I wouldn't call it early access. It's sort of a demo you can look at. And eventually winding up with Yedoma Globula, which is an explorer type game. So let's go straight into Puzzle Pelago. So let me just open this up. So this is the only game I've got this evening, which I got a key for. This is currently available on Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. I think it's practically every platform known to man apart from Linux. So Puzzle Pelago, I'm going to have to turn my volume down a bit here. Let me just move this. That's better. It's driving me mental. So Puzzle Pelago. Let me just start off, go straight to the start of the game so I can just demonstrate the mechanics. Right. Okay, so it really does give you a full proper tutorial section. There's sort of a rhyming tutorial which I have to press X. It's mandatory. I have to get rid of it. Let me just turn my volume down. Way too loud. That's better. Right, so as you can see, it's just telling me to draw across here. So what's happening is that you have houses with resources that need resources. This house wants logs. And here's a forest, and you can drag out from the forest to give you logs. That's the basis of the entire game. Every house wants some sort of resource. What is it trying to communicate here? I'm just going to get rid of that tutorial again. So the second level is trying to show you that once you've dragged something out, you can get rid of it. So you can right click. It's got this bomb icon up here you can like blow stuff up with, but like it's a lot easier just to right click. Although it is satisfying to do that. So the idea is you're supposed to be giving resources to the villages. We've got what idiot called it Yedoma Globula and not into the fract. I have no idea. From what I understand, Yedoma Globula, which we'll cover later on, is a random name. It's just something that the developer came up with. So this is showing you that you're not just get rid of the tutorial. You're not just restricted to going one direction. You can go all directions. So resources are infinite, or well, more or less, for 4 directions. And this then also shows you that once you've got a resource out, it can service as many of its neighbors as possible. So the thing is, it's all kind of lovely, but you're going to see, I'll make a note more of this later on, but it's actually kind of, it's not very clear. I mean, it looks very stark and clear in the sense that, okay, those are houses, those are trees, you can see the sea in the ground. But these little houses are not quite clear. And so this guy got this, this house over here has got, it wants logs. And that's it. That log popping up there is how you know. And later on, it's going to get quite confusing when you've got lots of different houses who have lots of different wants. This is effectively a game about, you know, creating paths. It talks about resources, but it's more about drawing the right lines across an island. So you want to get logs going down here, and logs going up here. I think I probably need to fast forward a bit in a second because even I'm getting a bit bored because I know this pretty well now. And then you can't cross the streams. This is less like Ghostbusters. You can't go straight across there. So you have to figure out a way of servicing both houses. Now it's actually really quite gentle to begin with, and I don't just mean the tutorial, but I've heard the first few chapters of the game, I just breezed through it. So this is, in this level, you can drag out from the woods to make logs, and then you can drag out from the logs to make planks. So in here, what I'm supposed to do, I'm drag the logs here, which services this house. I take planks down here, and I can take planks out of here. So just like the woods, you could drag out resources from those areas. You could drag out, you know, more resources from the structures you've already built. And then later on, we're going to have combining actions as well. So let me come out of this and show you a little bit more. Let's jump to a, let's save and quit. We're looking, this is all logs and planks. And then let's have a look at when you have iron coming out of the ground. So far, you're not really seeing any kind of difficulty here. So here, you've got mines. So I can get coal out of here. Sorry, I can get coal out of here, this grey rock. And I can get ore. No, sorry, I should be pulling out the orange. You can get ore out of here. And now, in a mechanic which I find quite awkward, you can drag a line from one of these two next to the other to make a, is it a forge? Where you create iron. So if I drag here, nothing happens. If I drag here next to the ore, then I will get a forge which doles out iron. And the thing that I find awkward is that every one of these was sort of like they were you're creating a resource from another, but at this point you've got, well, you're not dragging out a resource to another, you're dragging out to a neighbor of another spot and creating a structure there. And yes, it's not complicated from the point of view of sitting down and saying, yep, that's all it is, you just drag to the neighbor of the other one. But the thing is, it doesn't feel very concrete at this point. Instead of dragging something out and planting it, it suddenly becomes, you've got to be neighboring something for that structure to build. And it's just such a subtle point that I found it very difficult to get my head around a lot of the time. I was just simply not thinking properly for about half the game. So what I'm supposed to do here is drag this up here to create the iron, and that services that village. And I said, for I think a good third of the game, I didn't find any kind of difficulty. And then at a certain point, you've got so many different things going on that it becomes quite tricky to figure out where your moves have to be. So let's have a look at this one. This is again just a tutorial section, to be honest. So this guy wants coal, this guy wants ore. You have no other complications, and we've got to make metal for both of these guys. Now let me just stop a second again and just make it clear, like, you see the... Let me just get rid of everything. I do like the oh noise when you undo something which meets a villager's requirements. There's a couple of things I need to point out here. Again, note that these different houses or villages all look exactly the same, apart from something popping up over their head. There's a sort of user interface issue here where it's not good. This gets in the way, and a number of times on later levels I was like, oh, I don't understand how you do this. And the reason I didn't understand why you do this is because the spot I should be dragging something through was obscured by one of these pop-ups. And yeah, sure, they can move out the way, but it's just kind of, it's very obstructive. And similarly, and this, you see this a bit on other levels too, these green woods all around here, you know they're game objects, right? You can't actually drag them in this level because they're all blocked off. But there's a sense in which the game is creating noise. Leap Day, as our Awesome says, it's Leap Day by Spry Fox. I'm not sure I know what Leap Day is, but I'll leave you to say something in the chat about that. And so there's a lot of noise created by game objects which don't actually need to be there. And this isn't so much of a problem in these levels, but later on you feel that the noise is increasing, and there are levels where the elements are not actually 100% necessary, so it is just obfuscating what you have to do. Let me finish this off. So let me drag out from here, drag out from here, thank you very much, and then we can drag here and drag here to get the combination. Again, these yellow patches actually turn up to be game objects later on in the game. There's a sort of foreshadowing that goes on in these early levels where it's like, oh, I'm going to check this thing out, and you can't do anything with it, but it's coming later. So this guy wants iron. We got two things needing iron, so my feeling would be to bring that there so I can do a combination there and do a combination there. So if you haven't played much, this might be a little bit of more of a tricky ask for you. You might take a few minutes just to think, well, hang on a second, how do I do it? Because you're still not very familiar with the mechanics at this point. Yes, Splurmfy, if I pronounced that correctly, has said it'd be nice if each little town had architecture styles themed around their resources. I think that too. The only problem is there are so many resources. Part of the complication in Puzzle Pelago is that it just kind of adds more and more things that you can make. And its complexity comes with the number of things you can have on the screen at once. So you can get hammers and barley. In fact, the barley is the worst one. We're going to jump ahead now. The barley I really hate because it's so difficult. Oh, there's bread as well. I didn't like bread too much either. Let's go to barley. I mean beer. Beer, not barley. I'm thinking about playing Sumer. Sumer's not a puzzle game, of course. So, what you have to do in this level. So here we've got, the big thing is to make beer. And to make beer, you've got to do quite a lot of things. So first of all, let's make some iron. Then let's make some logs. From the logs, make planks. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about. See this barrel hanging over this spot here? It's really confusing. As I said, you do get used to it if you play a lot. Okay, so then if I drag this here, it combines the metal and the planks to make a barrel. And then you need to drag out from the straw to make hay. And then you can combine that with the barrel to make beer. That's a lot of combinations, a lot of pieces that need to be, put together to make a level to complete. Well, just make beer. And when you've got requirements like please do planks and logs and things everywhere else, you start to get a little bit tense. It's like, oh my god. Now these flowers in the corner, I will say they are purely cosmetic item. They do nothing in the game. They don't turn up in a later level or anything like that. So this is a little bit tricky. So we want 2 beers here. So I can already tell that this is gonna have to be dragged up here. And we're gonna have to make a barrel here. But we're gonna need to do the same thing up here, I think. We'll have to make barrel here. So that means we'll need to make metal and wood this direction and this direction. How's that gonna work? Let's see. Ah, so we can't go both ways. I'm looking at this already, I can tell that because of how close these are, there's no extra row here, that we can only go one way around this. Let's try. Oops, sorry. Let's try going this way. Right, so there's my. Okay, so I've got to. Oh, that's not going to work. We need 2 Oh, is it? And we can make. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because if I make planks, I want barrel here and a barrel here, something like that. I've got to get the whole path around. You know, I'm gonna make a mess of this, aren't I? So maybe. Ah, okay. Halg. That's Holgrim Games. Okay, I'm talking to the developer online today. So let's see. I did do this before. So let's have a look. Maybe I have to do something like that and start the metal up here. Right, and then I bring out planks there. Obviously, I could put barrels there, and that works, but that's not going to be good enough. So I would need to put a barrel here, I think. That's my feeling. And here's the other problem, because if I put a barrel there, I need planks here. And the locks come out there. So I can make the barrel there now, but I can't make the barrel underneath. There's a... Oh, where's the trick? It's very... If I put the planks there, I block it. And I need... Ah! It's... I have this weird feeling like I need to have the logs come around here or something. I wanted at least to see I wanted you to see me suffer that some of how tricky the puzzles get. I have a feeling there's a definitely need to make the barrels there. I think that's the only way of servicing both these towns at once. Which means planks definitely need to be there, and I have a strange feeling like I have to bring that round there. But if I bring that around there, but if I did that, then I've completely encapsulated the ore, and that's not going to work. Ah! Is something like that. Right. Okay, so bring that out. Back to where we were. Does that work? Right, we got the... Ah, no! I mean, I get a barrel there. That's lovely. That could only do one of them. If I do it all the way around the other side here, I could only do that one. Oh, I think it's close though. It's something like this. It's all to do with the positioning. If I could get the metal... Oh, it just goes the other way. That's the solution. You need more space on the right side. I think that's it. There you go. Up there and across to there. Whew. Okay, that's the end of the stream. I'm very tired now. So I found that what happened in the first third of the game is very easy, and the middle third, I found it. I was doing just guesswork a lot of the time because I just didn't have fighting with the interface and not having a real grasp of the mechanics made it kind of tricky. But I'd say the last third, maybe the last 20%, suddenly everything started to click into place. I understood what I was trying to do, how the space worked. And yes, sometimes you have to guess, but it's more about, you know, educated guesses. So let's go back to... I just want to show you my most hated level. The one I thought I wasn't going to be able to do. I think it's on here. Ah, Bruce Central. You remember I said how much trouble the beer is? Well, this is just like... It's the most evil beer level there is. And I have to say, it's just grim. You have 8 villages to service. You've got to give them beer. And... there's just so little space, and you know how much effort it is to make beer. You've got to get the iron, you've got to get planks, you've got to get the straw, and somehow in this limited amount of space, all 8 of these have to be done. And I was really thinking I was going to have to give up. When I eventually cracked it, there was this sort of like, yay! But yeah, I said the tail end of the game, when it all fell into place in my head, as it typically does towards the end of the game, I really, really enjoyed it. Some of them were tricky. Generally, most of the complexity comes from just piling up more and more types of resources and combinations. But there is also one kind of extra unusual mechanic then. You get some bridges which allow you to pass through 2 directions at the same time. So that's all I want to say about Puzzle Pelago. It's currently out there for £7.19. I saw on Steam recently. So yeah, I'll leave you make up your own mind. You might find you have to fight the interface a bit, but as I said, towards the end of the game, I really kind of got into it, and I felt like, yeah, you know what, I actually enjoyed myself in the end. So, let's, I think that's enough of Puzzle Pelago, and let's move on to something else. Okay. Just wondering how much fat is appearing on the stream. You know, lockdown diet's not good. Well, it's not lockdown diet is the problem, is it? It's the lack of lockdown exercise. Right, let's take a look at Discolored, and I won't show too much of this. Don't want to spoil it. I mean, it's a short game. So, this is just one of my random purchases. It looked kind of cute, and you may notice if you started the stream early enough, you would have seen the trailers for some of the games that I'm showing this evening. But I didn't put Discolored in because Discolored sort of gives away every single surprise. If you're like me, you wouldn't have, I didn't remember anything I saw in the trailer, not very much at all. But I just found it a little bit off-putting. I couldn't just put like, here's all the secrets of Discolored. Why play the game? So let's take a look at this. That new game. So effectively it's just a point-and-click game, but I switched to the free roam mode, and I like the feel of it. Then I mean, I don't think it would be as cool on the point-and-click mode. It feels more like somewhere you can genuinely explore with the free roaming. So you start off in an elevator, and my God, I got a sense of 30 Flights of Loving, Gravity Bone at this point. It is nothing like that, but just for a moment, the game has this sort of kind of vibrant, colorful feel and simplicity. And what I'd like to note is that the objects here are not just like, pure, just like this square, seats and everything like that. There's some nice, curving on most of the objects. Nothing is like hard edged, which I appreciated. It does give it that extra bit of oomph. So I always like to look out the window, which is quite difficult to see, but it seems to be we're in the middle of some fields. I think that's all green there, and there is a road out there, but I think that's about as much as you can see outside. So you can look at these pictures here, and it's not, I think it really comes from what you're seeing here, but this is sort of like a case you're being assigned to. Take a look at this, and this is an object you can pick up, and there is what the object is, which is card with holes. Oh, I've already done the E stuff. That's the tutorial there. So got some blank picture portraits, and there seems to be some sort of announcement going on in Unicode. Unicode that can't be printed. I'm not saying that's a mistake. And there's something glowing green down there. Everything else is grey. And then we move along. Got something playing out the intercom there. You can pick up the case. Have a look at the suitcase and open it up. Okay, so then we've got some instructions. Put the card with holes into the viewer. There we go. And it leaves the space for a Darwinian behind. Okay. So you can combine this. Can I open this door? You know what? Something's not triggered for some reason. Something usually happens. Did I break it? There we go. Maybe it's on a timer. But at some point, the color disappears from half the office. Still in the lift, or should I say elevator, and still outside, but inside all the colors vanished. Although the last room has been immune. And so you come into this room, room 5, and then you work out, you have to take this and look at the picture. And by looking at the picture, you arrive. And so here we are. So again, I don't think it's very clear from the game itself. I think you have to look at the very small plot rundown that's on Steam. It's basically places are losing their color, and you're off to investigate why this is happening. So here you are, kind of like some sort of agent to check out what's going on here. There's a nice telephone box there, details in there, and there's an edge, and we have to go over the edge, right? See what happens, and you just pop around the other side of the map here. So you can never escape this small area. I never know whether that's because you're physically trapped or whether it's just the game's conceit to say you don't have to go beyond these confines. I like to feel like that you're trapped in the area that's discolored. Now I have to be clear, looking at a picture of Moon, this thing is entirely dedicated to Moon logic. You don't play this game thinking like, okay, so I've got to, piece together how to open doors and it doesn't make any realistic logical sense. You have some random items and you put them together and things happen. And normally that's the kind of thing that would really, really annoy me. But somehow Discolored is kind of nice looking, and it has a good ambience. Some of the music in here is pretty cool, and so I you know, Moon Logic be damned, it's kind of entertaining. So we're inside of the diner here. Clock moved on. All colorless till you get up here, and you see this strange green triangle here. And in this room there's a TV set. There's the paper. Looks like something else happening in Unicode. And television, and all sorts of things you can interact with. So I'm loath to show you too much. I want you to just, if you do decide to go and play with this, just, you know, have a go yourself. I will unfortunately solve the first mystery, if I put it that way, because I want to show you exactly how moon logic-y we're talking about. Yep, seems perfect for VR, says Helga. But as I said, I think that's an interesting point, because this game is it's defined as a, I think it was originally built to be a point and click game, and in VR obviously that wouldn't make much sense, but I think having it as a free roaming game, it's kind of nice. So we've got this here as a hook. That's it's a lift. It's a lift. Well, let's get that back up. Nothing's happening. Again, it's more of like questing to find little hotspots. I did actually need to use a walkthrough at one point, I think. Okay, let's use the run option. Yeah. And well, you know, what can you find over here? Some barrels and stuff. A bucket. A bucket must go in a well, right? Right, let's see. Bring this up. There's the bucket. And I can attach the bucket. Ah, the sound of water. Let's get that out. Okay, so I have a bucket of water. Now, what would I need a bucket of water for? This is where you know how moon logic-y this is going to be. It's just like, this is what the game's all about. Bucket of water. Oh, it's a plant. Maybe I need to water the plant. So, real shades there of the House of Da Vinci, to be honest, which was so kind of like these. Okay, so like think of the room where you play with all these little tumblers and clicky things, and yes, it doesn't make any sense. And the more that those games went on, the more, you know, highly kind of constructed it, how obviously constructed it seemed. And the thing is, it's kind of Lovecraftian horror, so it's okay. You know, maybe it all just works like that. Maybe that's just the way it is. But when you played the House of Da Vinci, someone actually sat down and designed these stupid little devices where you put a cog in and something opens up. You have to get something from over here and put it down here, and it pops out again. I found that kind of slightly ridiculous, and it got on my nerves. Discolored is sort of doing the same thing, but you know, it's all right. So this is pretty much where I'm going to end here. So it's a cash register picture. I can obviously put that in the viewer. Okay, let's see if I can go and use it, because there was a cash register downstairs. Let's take a look. There it is, and now we have a green triangle. So it's pretty obvious what you have to do with this. I'm not spoiling anything by putting this where it should be. But I just wanted to do this to let you know kind of like why I kind of liked it. and the green appears. You've restored green, and just somehow it's really lovely. And obviously you have to restore other colors. You know, it's quite obvious that's where this game is going. And the way that as you add more color back to the world, these layers, it just becomes more vibrant, and it's done really well. That the stark gray here, obviously this isn't a green door or anything like that, and I just really like it. So yeah, I killed this off in less than 2 hours. I used a walkthrough for 1 bit, but basically it's like find the hot spots, stick the objects together which need to be stuck together, and put the color back on. You do sort of find out why the color's been missing, but it's not really a game where there's going to be anything to listen to or any audio logs or anything. So that is Discolored. If you're interested, it is currently going for, what price is it currently going for? £5.50. I don't know if it seems a little bit hefty for the fact that it's quite a short game, but it is very well put together. It was recently on sale for about £2.74, and I wished I had done a stream then at that point. I would have been happy to endorse it for £2.74, but up to you if you think that's good enough for you. 2 hours worth of kind of fun times. It's Windows only, and that's by Nonsense Arts. This actually came out last year, so I only just recently picked it up. You know what? I have been meaning to put some of the links onto the chat. Let me just do that. Okay, so let me grab these links for you. So Puzzle Pelago, there's a site for you, and if you're interested in Discolored, that's the link for you there. Right, so now we'll press on to Akurra, which usually deafens me in the ear. For some reason it's just louder than any other game. So Akurra is it's kind of like an open world puzzle game. It was down to I think it's Evidently Cube, the guy who made the game about the machines. I've forgotten all about the, can't remember the name of it right now. But he mentioned this to me. He said, you know, if I like The Witness, maybe I'll like this. Now, of course, when someone says, if you like The Witness, maybe you'll like this, that's a very dangerous thing to say, right? So, you know, I took that with a dose of, you know, cynicism, and just had to go straight for it, and straight into it. So, now this is not complete. This is just like an early look at what the game is going to be. I actually don't like the opening titles, but you know, I'm sure that can be worked on. Let's start again. I'm gonna call my new game Dog. So it's like a, you know, JRPG, but with puzzles all the way through it, and generally it's all very Sokoban. So the rules are never explained. Nothing comes up and says these are the rules. So you just have to, you know, figure things out. So you soon work out that that's pushing something. You know, that those wooden blocks can be pushed around. They're like blocks. And this red stone here, can't do anything with it, but if you hit the red bell, it will disappear, and you have a key. And of course I will open this spot here, and those are blocks which I've seen in some other game, but I can't think how you describe them, but they'll if you push in the direction indicated, it will, you know, blow up in the all along the line. It will destroy all the blocks in that line. So this is kind of funny because this door is effectively a sort of a progress mark you have to do as you do puzzles. There's these lights fill up on the doors, and I guess to get in you have to do everything in the game. And it seemed like when we made progress, only one tiny bit appeared, so it feels like the full game is either going to have a lot more in it, or this doorway is going to fill quicker. So let's see, we've got a hole here. One thing about this, it doesn't have an undo. I mean, it does if you press the start button. You've got this undo last move, but that's really not what you want. If you die, it'll just reset. And in fact, if you come off the screen and go back on, you'll notice everything will move back into its normal places. However, certain things which you have completed, like you see the key here is missing. You picked the key up, so that's gone for good. Let's push this in here. And that's open. And then we can open up that there. Notice if you can notice the JN in the little beige blocks above me. That's the author's name, Jason Newman. So now if I go back, I need a key. So you can walk across this hole here. So you can walk across it once. Go in a second time, obviously you fall in. So the question here is what to do. I'd like to get that key. How am I going to get that key? I've got a blue stone there, and there's some sort of blue bell down there. And now we've got this red stone, and to get that red stone, I need to hit that blue bell there. Now obviously if I go up across there, that hole, I'm just going to fall through it. I mean, I can walk across once, but when I come back, I'll fall into the hole. So, can I use this to plug the hole? Yes, I can. Now I need a second piece of wood to get through here. And this looks kind of tricky. However, I can push that in there so that I can get behind this rock, this stone block. Stone block? Shall I call it a wood block? Now what do I do here? So that's obviously spikes. If I go on there, I'm dead. Slightly annoying thing about the demo, if you walk onto spikes and kill yourself, whatever you've done on the screen, it will reset because of this. There's no undo here. And it would be nice to have an undo. I'm hoping the full game will have something like that. So obviously I can push that there, but am I going to die if I push this block off? And that's where you find out. No, you can do a push move. You can just push it and the block will move ahead. However, I'm not sure that was the right move to make. I want to push it down. Right. Now I can get that done, and I can go up here and get this key. Like another key. You will also notice there's a second key up here, and there's a block in the way. And there seems to be nothing you can do to move that block out the way. So I'm not gonna solve this mystery for you here. Something you can play around with yourself, because this game is free for download. But yeah, it's a real conundrum. It's like, well, how do I get rid of that block? There's nothing here I can do to get rid of it. So just move on and come back later. I can see a lot more going on down here. So you know what? I'm going to wander back to the other side of that first area. You'll also notice there's an arrow up there. I'm not going to explore. Let's just have a look at this side. So what have we got over here? This is a lot more complicated. I need 3 keys to open that door. So there's a lot going on here. So I would like to, well, let's look at it this way. Let's think about what the stones and bells are doing. So this red stone is stopping me from getting to the blue bell over there. And I need to get past here to open this red stone. Aha, a button. Okay, well, obviously I need to put something onto it to keep it pressed down. Okay, so I can hit that. Oh, now I need to push this off the button so I can go down again. Great. So now I guess if I go to the right side, I can hit that, knock those arrow blocks out the way, and I can go down and hit the yellow one, which will open up that yellow stone above me. Why is that important? Well, I suppose I could then push this yellow block down there. Why is that important? So I want to go here. Okay. If I press that button, it reveals the key. So I need to get a block in here. But if I move this off, the block comes up. So, right. That's why we need this block up here, I guess. So let's, fingers crossed, that doesn't get us into trouble going across like that. Right. And this is the only way to get across. And then push over the spikes. Come around. Okay. Let's see. Is this going to work? Yes. We've got the key. Let's open up these areas. And check it out down. Check out down the bottom here. So we've got a little teleporter. And so where does that get us? That knocks that out. What is it I want to do? So I need to press this button for the key to come through. Get the key out, sorry. So I need to obviously have a block on there. Start this again. This block, I can't get it across here. If I push it up here, it gets stuck along the wall and you can't push it down. If I push it across here, it gets stuck on the spikes. I can't get behind it to push it across any further. But maybe there's a trick here to push it up there. So I think I need it to push through the portal or push it downwards like this. Does that help? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, let's go around. And I have to open that up. Just like, oh no. That's very painful when that happens. Okay, let's do this again. More speedy this time. Go through. That's now gone. One more. I can come down, push that onto the button. Okay. I've got 2 keys. I need just one more. Can I get one from one of these other rooms over to the left? Yeah, don't stand on that. Is there one above maybe? Oh, there's a key sitting right there. Let's grab that. I'm not going to open up that square, by the way. Let's open up this one. Right, so I need a star. Oh, and I needed, there was like 3 on the other page, right? I need another 3 keys needed to open to get to the star, but luckily there's one here. I do a little dance with my star, and then I can open this out. And this is almost where I leave you with Akurra. Because when you get on here, you're suddenly on the back of a turtle, and you're like, oh. Yeah, there's like a lot more out here to see. I wanna... Oh, that looks like a big island. And it's like, oh my god. So we devoured this. I think, I can't remember how long it took us. We really devoured it. We just kept on going at it. It was so much fun. None of the puzzles in here are particularly difficult. I don't think we had anything that was really hard. There is a big aspect of finding stuff, like mysteries to solve. I don't want to say too much about it, but you know, like there's like extra mechanics to find and dig out. If you achieve certain puzzles, you can then do other things, and there's just a lot of like mystery in here, things which are just sort of hidden in plain sight, and that's a bit where I guess it's a little bit witnessy in the sense that there's extra mechanics in here and it takes you a while to sort of fathom how everything fits together. I didn't find any of the puzzles extremely difficult. I found it was all generally pretty straightforward stuff, but it was the discovery and the exploration was kind of fun, and it just kept on going like, oh, I just want to get to that other island. How far does this demo go? And there are a bunch of secrets in here as well, which you just don't need to find, you know, to complete the demo. In fact, I would say you can finish the demo without getting half of the stuff in this game. We got to the so-called end, said, well done, you got to the end of the game, and there was so much more we hadn't done yet. So we just went straight back in and did the rest of it. But yeah, this is just a demo. It's free to download. It's for just Windows at the moment. So you can get it from Steam. I think I got my copy from Itch, but you can also get it from Steam at the moment. Oh my god, there's a map when I hold down the key here. That's Stone Island. So let me get you a link to that. There's the Steam link. So yeah, that's Akurra, which I found it thoroughly entertaining. They had a Kickstarter recently, and I was hoping to do this stream while they were doing a Kickstarter, but you know, I couldn't quite get this stream ready on time. But yeah, give that a go. I mean, it's totally free to play around with. It's just not difficult, but quite a lot of fun. And there was one particular puzzle I had to seek the developer's help for. I didn't say, can you help me? I said, can I do that thing? Because that looked like I needed the full game to do that thing. And he gave me a hint. I was like, oh no. Hand in my puzzle license. So let's move on to the final game this evening, which is Yedoma Globula. I discovered this last year. Let me just start a new game and bring it up for you. So that should be coming up for you. Okay, so this is Yedoma Globula. I'll put away the controller and reclaim the mouse. So Yedoma Globula is a fractal procedurally generated world. I think the first fractal game was Rescue and Fractalus in 1980 something on the Atari, done by Lucasfilm Games, where they used fractals to create the world, and it's just all like kind of brown mountains basically. But looking at Yedoma Globula, things are a little bit more exciting. So it's kind of like this thing has like lots of rough edges at the moment. I think there's a lot of constraints on the engine considering how the fractals have to be made. So there are a number of tools you've got available. So you can see here, a flashlight. I've got a flare gun. Let's see how far this goes down, shall we? Without falling off. Let's do the flare gun down here. Oh, proper edge, just have a proper edge. Yeah, that's going a long way down. Yeah, it's still going. Still going. I love it. So this game really gets my fear of like big, vast spaces. But it also has claustrophobia, and we may see some of that later. Jesus, that's a long way down. You can't die from falling, but it's always slightly nerve-wracking to jump into the unknown. So that's the flare gun. There's apparently an ice axe which you can use to climb vertical walls, and I've never really got the hang of it. Yeah, I seem to be doing something here, don't I? Anyway, I don't find that particularly fun. There's also... Oh god, now I'm stuck on the wall. There's also a hole blaster, which is... Make a little hole, but it doesn't last long. It'll start to form back up again, so... You want to make a path. Move fast. Yeah. I always feel slightly nervous about trying to blow a hole in something. And you know it's closing around you. This thing's overheated. There's also sort of mini game, I guess, where you can follow some signals to, beacons. See, it's telling me to go down there, and the 77 is like how far away you are from it. You can do that. I don't really care for it. And we'll talk a bit more about this number 6 here, which is the parallel world visor, in a minute. There's a mini-map to look at. I've never really used this. It looks cool, but I don't find it useful. And there's a platform building tool where you can build in the world. It only seems to build on the fractal wall, so you can make... Sorry, building there now, is it? So you can build around the world, around the edges of things. But you know what? We're not going to do that. Let's get the flashlight back in play. The only thing is I can't work out how to get rid of the flashlight. We'll put it away permanently. So if you come down here, there's a teleport. Yeah, that will allow you to teleport to a different fractal world. I'm not going to do that just yet. Can't step onto all this, even though it looks like it's corrupted. But as you can see, like, you can get through there. Okay, great. And now that's closing back. Whoa. Okay, where are we now? Yeah. Let's try the flare gun. Yeah. Okay, maybe we can go back up, That's kind of creepy. What am I going to do? Okay, can I... Okay, he says he's never used the ice axe. Let's try it now. Come on, save me, ice axe. Oh, thank you, ice axe. You're working. Okay, alright, let's blast a hole through this with a hole blaster. Good, good. Ah. Right, so what I want to do is get up there, go back to where you were. Why is it so bright, this thing? Oh, you have a jetpack as well. It doesn't last for very long, but it will let you to go up a little bit. I don't know why it suddenly became all foggy. Man, how do I get over there? Why does it get all foggy? Oh, I seem to have fallen off the edge by accident. Oh, whatever. Let's do it. And we'll arrive at the bottom. Ahead of my flares. And every now and then you will find weird things to pick up. Oh, control Take your off. You can change. Zara Awesome just telling me that you can use both hands for things, but I've never been able to work out how to drop things from both hands. So you can put something in your left hand and something in your right hand, but I can't seem to make it not hold something in one hand at all. Wow, so something just happened. When I hit the pyramid, the inverted pyramid, and oh my god, the world's changing. Yikes. It's still moving. Whoa. I don't. If anybody else feels uncomfortable about this. Okay. Great, it stopped moving. Let's get into some open space. Oh, this is definitely like Outer Wilds. Interquest saying I need an adult. Yeah, it's and so I come out to a giant hall here where light's coming through. This is actually sky bleeding through. There is a I find that some of these fractals, they've got an edge. There's you can go so far and you'll reach the edge of the fractal and you'll be just left with open void. But it's just kind of amazing, you know, the stuff you find in here. Oh my god, it's happening. I think I need to get the flashlight back on. I seem to be falling down some pits here. Whoa, massive holes. They're awesome. Doesn't help that all the caves are colors, shades of endoscope pink. Yeah, definitely body vibes. Oh, that's a nice hard triangular, hard pixelated edge there. So, oh god, I'm falling down again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start the game again. We've done some investigation there. And what I want to do, there we go, I want to go over here this time. Maybe I should just make sure I'm not going to fall down a hole. And so we're going to go over to what's called the boat. Right, so we can use this for much calmer kind of explorations. And this is very interesting, but what I actually didn't know this specifically. So in the back of the boat, you've got a teleport, which will take you to another fractal world. What I didn't realize is as you move around, you get access to different fractal worlds, which you can see which one you're near by bringing up the parallel world visor. So there's something there. Let's move out of that one. Let's go somewhere else. So there's something bleeding out of existence. Let's just have a look at this one. All right, so what I'm going to do is teleport. And we got something very dark and foggy. Honestly, I feel like I'm in Doom. And there's a sense of unknowability about these spaces. that even if you look at them, you're not really sure what you're looking at. They're not designed for human traversal. Let's see if we can move around. Okay. Up, 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 up. It is possible to get stuck. I know, I've had this problem. Oop, I've Okay, now we're moving. Move up. Forward. Whoa. Wow, I seem to have blinded myself. Now, let's see, bring back the parallel world visor. Oh, I'm getting stuck. Turn. Can't turn. Can't turn unless you're actually moving. Okay, I think it's time to change. It's getting very hard to move around in this world. I just hope we're not in the middle of something. Yes. Move backwards. Is that where we started? We've gone back to the previous world, I think. Let's try and turn around in here. Bring up the parallel world. What does this look like? Not sure I like the look of that either. Let me get some. Go upwards. That lovely green. Not so much pink now. Oh wow. Have we got anything available to us now? I need to be going forward, looking the wrong direction. Let me just try this. What the heck? See what we got. Ah! It is in testing world. Yes, this is the something I always find rather disturbing. So as you can see, we're actually outside it. As I said before, these fractals often they have an edge, and out here is nothing but void. Yep. So we can go and have a little look around. This fractal is awful. It's in terms of like I don't mean it's bad or anything. It's mean in terms of trying to find your way around. It's very easy to walk across it and then just get lost and just keep on falling. seem to be getting closer. You know what? I'm gonna scare the heck out of myself and just get going, have a look around here. Right, let's jump off. Stop driving. Flashlight out. Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah. It's an uncomfortable it's an uncomfortable exploration, to be honest. I'm not going to say it's delightful, but it is extremely interesting. Let's see if we can go to another world. Back to the original world. Let's try it out. Oh, what am I can't just change world. I gotta be near a teleport station. Are there any teleport stations in this world? Suppose I could start using those. No, that's very uncomfortable. Suppose I could be looking for signals. But this world doesn't tend to have any structures in it, if I remember. Just sort of lots of gooey stuff. I suppose if I use that. Not gonna work. Oh. Can I blast through this? Oops. Bring the lights back up. Am I getting closer to anything? Let's get this this back on my left and bring out the flare. No, a hole blaster. Oh, finally. Sure, this is much of an improvement. Oh, a hole! Wow, bring on the lights again. I really make more progress down here. Let's get the hole blaster again. Oh, it's getting quite claustrophobic in here now. I'm not sure I'm getting any closer. I think I'm just skirting around it because it's so difficult to move. Let's start again. I want to try and find one more different fractal destination. There's no sense of... Yeah, that's what I didn't want to do. Don't fall through the hole. Let's go further into the caves by the boat and see what we can find. Right. visor. Well, it's an interesting question. Do I think it would benefit from gamification? I think this is maybe a difficult game to gamify. I think there are restrictions bearing on the technology has to be used to make the world the way it is. There is this simple thing where you follow these, beacons around, but I'm not sure that's really compelling. And I find, I'm not really following that. I don't care. I'm more interested in just wandering around. There may be something that can be made of this. Okay, let's find out what this is. There may be more that can be made of this. But I think it'd be very easy to break it. Oh, we're back here again. If we can go up there, shall we? Looks nice and green up there. Okay, F to use. Oh, up. Thank you. I guess the one thing that's a bit frustrating at times is that it can be very dark all the time. I'm stuck. Finding it difficult to turn. Down, let's not get caught up there. But I've spent quite a few hours inside this game just looking for different fractal worlds, finding how far I can get lost in this mad place. Let's go up. I need a nice open space. That's a lot better. Is it fogging up because I'm using flares everywhere? Is that what's going on? Right. Our last parallel, let's find something else. That looks like in testing world again to me. Gone through a fractal. No, I don't want that. Will give me 6. I'm looking at it. It's still there. Let's go into this one and just see if we can get somewhere else from there. So let's teleport from there. And you can, of course, just go and find regular teleport stops, but it can be, harder to track down stuff like that just on foot. Depends what you're interested in doing. Okay, very dark in here. Well, that's very nice. The place we've been to, I think, just now. Hang on, what's that? What is that? Let's take a look at that. That looks like very interesting. I mean, it looks like the loop place again, but there's a giant loops in front of us. If it's dark, it's not going to look cool, though. Yes. Not gonna look cool. This is really nice though. It is still really good. Ah, there's the loops I was looking at. Wow. Okay. Let's go back, try and find a different place. Okay. and bring up my parallel world visor. See if we can find something else that's not loop world. That looks like another intestine world. Try it out. Yep. Another intestine world. I bring up the visor again. See what we can find. Come on, you can give me one more world. One more exciting world. Yeah, lovely how this stream has gone from an hour into an hour and a half. It's not giving us anything else at the moment. It's just stuck with this. Something else. Quite close to this stuff. Oh my god. That loops again? Let's try and... Jesus, looks like a giant spider, for Christ's sakes. Off and on a bit here. Guess we're traveling through some loops in the other world. Hoping for something more brightly lit. Honestly, I have no particular answers to where you should go or anything like that. That loop world is a little bit too dark for my liking. Man, what is this though? It's incredible. Same world, isn't it? Maybe we'll get something different if we can head in here. There's big gaps down here. I need to go up. It looks like it's not going to give us any other worlds. Like, that's your loop world, mate. Enjoy it. And we're back to an intestine world. I can see it. I can recognize it. Is that the same world? It's like the picture in the visor is the same as what I see in front of me there. What is that? Okay. Why do I keep on pressing that? Teleport. See what we get. So BFix says, my problem with fractal exploration is the repetitive nature, and he likes how this is very specific traversal methods. So it is interesting. Yes, it does feel like kind of repetitive. Well, fractals are self-similar. So I think sometimes the boat is interesting, but sometimes just going off on foot and trying to deal with the hardships of the landscape makes for a more interesting experience. I've aborted that because I wanted to show you more interesting bits and pieces to look at. But trying to clamber around this bulbous pink mass can be really it can really feel like you're earning the views. The boat feels a bit more frustrating in a way. You think, oh yeah, the boat, I'll just fly around, but easily gets caught in the landscape. But I think that is probably where I should leave it. I've shown you enough of Yedoma Globula. I have nothing else to show you today. We're making our way back into a large chamber. But there are little oddities, bits and pieces and things can be found. Like you saw that weird inverted pyramid caused the world to shift and change. But there we go. That it's a free download. So you can get that from, let me just flip off here into my text window. There we go. So yeah, that's it for the day, I think. I hope you enjoyed it. That was, sorry, I never give you any details of that. That is Yedoma Globula, which has been going since 2017 and is still being developed. It's not strictly free, it's pay what you want. And it's on Windows only. And it's from a developer called Bananaft. And I have no idea if that's correct pronunciation, but you know how it is these days. So yeah, I hope you got what you needed to out of today's stream, and I'll upload this to YouTube in a couple of days once I've post-processed it and taken out all the bits where I go, well, I don't do that. I keep all those bits in. Thank you very much for everybody who joined. You joined and left and joined and left. It's been a long old stream. Thank you very much, Marcus Don. Thank you. All right. Magambo Kushwa.